Hi, I'm Greg from RV Haulers. I wanted to introduce to you today a product that I've been doing some testing on, and I just wanted to share it with some folks. When we create these trucks, what we need to do is convert the air application brake. So these brakes in these trucks are air brakes. We need to convert that to an electrical signal for our fifth wheel recreational trailers. And recently we've been using a product, however they've gone out of business, so I've been testing some alternatives, and I want to show you a product called DirecLink, and it's made by Tucson. I have no interest in this company, I'm just sharing some information with you. I don't sell the product, but they are about $365 for the main unit, plus you need to buy a second component that's $124. That's the current pricing as of early here in 2014. I wanted to show you how it works. The main unit looks like this. This is the part of the unit that you would put up in behind the dash. You don't really need access to this. And this is the remote that you would put visible on your dash. And I'll show you how this display turns on in a minute. The power has to be sent to this device. So there's 4 wires that go in and out of the main unit. Of course, there's power, ground. The blue wire is for sending the signal to the electrical brakes, and the red wire is for the brake light. Now, I'm not getting this brake feed from the brake light. This connects directly into the computer system of the truck. It's plugged in underneath the dash here to the ECU unit. And this establishes a network with the braking system of the truck. It's not tied into the air lines in any fashion. All that comes into this unit is power, ground, brake goes out, and brake lights come in. The brake lights are only there because that's how it's used to actually turn the unit on initially. And then it's got this, they call it a Freightliner module. The cable that comes out of the back has a little converter plug and a wire that goes and plugs in underneath the dash. Now let me show you how this thing works. If I come in here just to get the system turned on, I'm going to hit the brake pedal. And what it'll do is it does a little search and it connects to the truck. It's created the network already. Shows that the system is okay, but it's not connected to a trailer right now. I'm here in my shop, so I don't have a trailer connected. Let me show you how this display looks. As this is a manual test, as I press on this, it shows a percentage in the bottom left hand corner, and it's got a little sliding graph. Now the way that I've chosen to hook these up, oh by the way I should mention I've tested this on 4 trucks. I've tested it all on Volvos, an 04, an 07, and 2 09s. And it's worked on all of them. Now, I'll also show you what the display looks like when I actually press on the brake on the truck. So I'll push really slowly. You can see that that little graph starts to grow. You'll also see that that graph was red, just letting us know that there isn't a trailer connected. Now I'd like to show you how this is tied into the Jackalope that we use for doing the wiring conversion. I'm going to slowly depress this and let me bring up on the screen a view of the Jackalope that's in the jockey box behind the driver's seat. As I slowly press this, you can see that the brake lights have just come on the Jackalope. In the top left hand corner, the brake light has started to come on. Now watch it glow a little bit brighter as I press harder. So imagine you're pressing on the brakes here. There it is off again, and I'll just give it a little bit of a blip here so you can see how it gets brighter and darker at the Jackalope. So the Jackalope is sensing the brake signal, and that's passing it on through to the fifth wheel electric brakes. Let me show you next how I've actually got the power to this device. I kind of figured out a neat way of using the Jackalope all in one. So what I've done here on the left hand side of the Jackalope, this is the feed that comes from the truck. Normally this would be going to the trailer. That's been tied into our Jackalope, and what I've got here is a 4-wire bundle of wires. They're 14 gauge that I've used in this case. And I'm pulling my brake light, my ground, my power, and of course I'm feeding back to the brakes on the trailer all through this one wire. So what I've done is I've taken everything I need for that DirecLink here from the Jackalope and fed it back. I've gone underneath the cab, and I've come through the firewall right up in here and gotten everything that I need for this DirecLink right from the Jackalope behind us. What I'll also mention, I'll move my camera up a little bit, is a little bit about the installation. There is, please don't be confused with this. This has nothing to do with the brake controller. This is actually an S-bar, an engine heater we use up here in Canada. It's a diesel-fired heater that heats the coolant inside the engine. Works on a timer, or you can just turn it off and on. But what I'm planning on doing with these installations is it comes with all the mounting hardware, and I think a good spot for it to go is right up here. So it's visible from the driving position, but it's not too bright and in your face. The DirecLink, there's a void right up here in behind the dash. So I plan on taking this and putting it in behind this panel. Just 3 screws come out, Torx 25s, and we'll get that tucked up out of the way. So it's a fairly reasonable installation, not too hard. We don't have to tie into any airlines. And I want to reiterate, I've only tested this so far on 4 Volvo trucks. It's worked really well. I love the menuing system that's in there, the control of this. I can even have trailer brakes turned on while I'm stationary. It does all kinds of neat things. But what I like about it is I'm not tying into airlines. Pretty quick to wire. It's a little bit more expensive than some of the Hayes solutions out there, but hey, let's face it, the Hayes solution is a little bit antiquated. It doesn't have the nice control that this one does. And I also want to remind you, I've only tested it on 4 trucks. Don't count on this thing working on your truck. I'm not making any kind of guarantees, but I just wanted to show people what this thing was all about.